Hello, welcome to day 16 of our Brooding Bootcamp. These days have grown, but some other things have also grown with them. Their feed consumption has also grown tremendously. For the first week, for 7 days, they ate one bag of feed. However, at this moment, we are barely trying to feed them one bag of feed for 2.5 days. Their consumption has really peaked. So how do you balance this? That's just the issue that every farmer will weigh, because really the most costly thing in the inputs that are used for producing chicken are the feed. So we have to contend with the cost of feed and also balancing with their growth. I have a simple way I measure what they eat. This particular container, this is a drinker. This is what we use for their drink. When you fill it up with feed to this size, this is 2 kg in weight. This is 2 kg of feed. That's what it contains. Every morning I give them 3 of this, which is 6 kg. And later in the day, I give them another 3, which is another 6 kg. So in a day, they eat 6 of this. At 2 kg each, that is translating to 12 kg. That's what they eat. So that means in 2 days, 1 bag is gone. And this is quite expensive. So we have to contend with this. So how do we manage our feed and at the same time cope with the cost? We should exercise good management. Make sure that you don't overfill the feeders, because as they peck the feed, they tend to pull back their beak. That way, if the feeder is overfilled, they will spill the feed into the bedding, and that is lost. Don't overfill your feeders. Fill them to a level where you would experience less wastage. And also try to raise your feeders above the floor. That way it's not mixed up with dirt. You can see this feed is clean. Look at this feeder that is on the floor, on top of their bedding. You can see how messed up it is. And after a while, they will stop eating from it because it's messed up. That's a big wastage for us. So we should try and raise all our feeders up. That way we avoid wastage. We should also know that birds have ideal quantities of feed they eat per day. So we should see how we can manage that. But at this age, I prefer giving my bird at liberty the quantity of feed they need. They have continuous supply of feed. I don't hold feed back from them, because at the end of the day, the math is the same. If you feed them continuously without having a break, what happens is that they grow to table size on time and you can sell them. However, if you decide to take breaks and feed them at certain frequencies, they take longer to get to table size and may still consume the same amount of feed or even more. But other costs apart from feed will be running. At the end of the day, in our own experience, we have come to see that feeding them continuously gives us a better prospect than feeding them at certain frequencies, because we sell them on time, holding every cost variable at a standstill. Unlike when we feed them in certain frequencies, a period that they will have feed and another period that they will not have feed, we find out that they take a longer time to get to table size. We pay our workers, we pay for water, we pay the salary of ourselves, the managers of the flock, and all that, even renting will play a part. So these are just few tips you can employ in managing the cost of feed and balancing it with the growth of your birds. But try as much as possible not to withhold feeding from your birds, because they actually need it to develop. If you withhold feeding, chances of poor immunity may develop and diseases and mortality may arise. If you feed them optimally, feed them as they ought to have feed, then you are likely to sell them on time and get your new set of birds and count your profit. So we see you on day 17. The chicks are doing great. We have not had mortality for some days. We have also not had any sign of disease. So we see you on day 17. Bye for today.